The incubus is a demon in male form who, according to a number of mythological and legendary traditions, lies upon sleepers, especially women, in order to have sexual intercourse with them. Its female counterpart is the succubus. An incubus may pursue sexual relations with a woman in order to father a child, as in the legend of Merlin. Religious tradition holds that repeated intercourse with an incubus or succubus may result in the deterioration of health, or even death. One of the earliest mentions of an incubus comes from Mesopotamia on the Sumerian king list, 2400 BC, where the hero Gilgamesh's father is listed as Lilu. It is said that Lilu disturbs and seduces women in their sleep, while Lilitu, a female demon, appears to men in their erotic dreams. Two other corresponding demons appear as well, Ardat Lili, who visits men by night and begets ghostly children from them, and Irdol Lili, who is known as a male counterpart to Ardat Lili and visits women by night and begets from them. These demons were originally storm demons, but they eventually became regarded as night demons because of mistaken etymology. Debate about the demons began early in the Christian tradition. Saint Augustine touched on the topic in The City of God. There were too many attacks by incubi to deny them. He stated, "There is also a very general rumor. Many have verified it by their own experience, and trustworthy persons have corroborated the experience others told, that sylvans and fauns, commonly called incubi, have often made wicked assaults upon women." Questions about the reproductive capabilities of the demons continued. 800 years later, Thomas Aquinas lent himself to the ongoing discussion, stating, "Still, if some are occasionally begotten from demons, it is not from the seed of such demons, nor from their assumed bodies, but from the seed of men, taken for the purpose, as when the demon assumes first the form of a woman, and afterwards of a man, just so they take the seed of other things for other generating purposes." It became generally accepted that incubi and succubi were the same demon, able to switch between male and female forms. A succubus would be able to sleep with a man and collect his sperm, and then transform into an incubus and use that seed on women. Even though sperm and egg came from humans originally, the spirit's offspring were often thought of as supernatural. Though many tales claim that the incubus is bisexual, others indicate that it is strictly heterosexual and finds attacking a male victim either unpleasant or detrimental. There are also numerous stories involving the attempted exorcism of incubi or succubi who have taken refuge in, respectively, the bodies of men or women. Incubi are sometimes said to be able to conceive children. The half-human offspring of such a union is sometimes referred to as a cambion. The most famous legend of such a case includes that of Merlin, the famous wizard from Arthurian legend. According to the Malleus Maleficarum, exorcism is one of the 5 ways to overcome the attacks of incubi, the others being sacramental confession, the sign of the cross, or recital of the angelic salutation, moving the afflicted to another location, and by excommunication of the attacking entity, which is perhaps the same as exorcism. On the other hand, the Franciscan friar Ludovico Maria Sinistrari stated that incubi do not obey exorcists, have no dread of exorcisms, show no reverence for holy things, at the approach of which they are not in the least overawed. There are a number of variations on the incubus theme around the world. The Alp of Teutonic or German folklore is one of the better known. In Zanzibar, Popo Bawa primarily attacks men and generally behind closed doors. The Traco, according to the traditional mythology of the Chiloé province of Chile, is a hideous deformed dwarf who lulls nubile young women and seduces them. The Traco is said to be responsible for unwanted pregnancies, especially in unmarried women. Perhaps another variation of this conception is the Tinten in Ecuador, a dwarf who is fond of abundant-haired women and seduces them at night by playing the guitar outside their windows, a myth that researchers believe was created during the colonial period of time to explain pregnancies in women who never left their houses without a chaperone, very likely covering incest or sexual abuse by one of the family's friends. In Hungary, a lighter can be a satanic lover that flies at night and appears as a fiery light, an ignis fatuus or will-o'-the-wisp, or, in its more benign form as a featherless chicken. In Brazil and the Rhine forests of the Amazon basin, the Bado is a combination of siren and incubus, a very charming and beautiful man who seduces young women and takes them into the river. It is said to be responsible for disappearances and unwanted pregnancies, and it can never be seen by daylight, because it metamorphoses into a kind of river dolphin during those hours. According to legend, the Bado always wears a hat to disguise the breathing hole at the top of its head. The southern African incubus demon is the Tokolash. Chaste women place their beds upon bricks to deter the rather short fellows from attaining their sleeping forms. They also share the hole in the head detail and water-dwelling habits of the Bado. In Germanic folklore, there is the Mara or mare, a spirit or goblin that rides on the chests of humans while they sleep, giving them bad dreams. Belief in the mare goes back to the Norse Ynglinga saga from the 13th century, but the belief is probably even older. The mare was likely inspired by sleep paralysis. In Assam, a northeastern province of India, it is mostly known as Pori, meaning angel. According to the mythology, Pori comes to a man at night in his dreams and attracts towards her. Gradually the victim's health deteriorates and in some cases a tendency to commit suicide generates in him. In Turkish culture, incubus is known as karabazan. It is an evil being that descends upon some sleepers at night. These beings are thought to be spirits or jinns. It can be seen or heard in the nightmare and a heavy weight is felt on the chest. Yet people cannot wake up from that state. Some of the causes are sleeping without adequately covering the body, especially women, and eating in bed.